Time now to welcome in linebacker Nate Gerry to the Eagles Insider Podcast. And in your third year, Nate, it's I can say the name Nate Gerry, but I got to tell you, I remember when you came in and we prepared for the preseason game, and I remember when you were a rookie, we went, well, "What's your name?" And you were like, "It doesn't matter. People call me Nate Gerry, Nate Gerry." Really? Your whole life?
My whole life, people have butchered my last name.
So it is Nate Gerry.
Gary. It's pronounced Gary, but spelled Gerry.
Was this a problem when you were in school?
Not in high school, but once people like you who were starting announcing when I was on the football field and butchered it, and then people who listened to stuff like this would catch on to it, and so we had to clarify it up a couple times.
Nate Gerry is one of my workout partners in the NovaCare Complex Strength and Conditioning Room. Have you ever looked over to see how much weight I throw up?
I do. I always check out the form. You always gotta keep an eye on there.
It's so for you've transformed your body over the years, and when you lift weights, it's really not how much you put up, right? It's like it's your form. I've always rushed through everything, and I just don't feel like I've maximized my body. I feel like a bit of a bit of a waste at age 54.
Yeah, there is some technique to it, and a lot of people just like to get it done. But always the slower the better. Motion is lotion.
Motion is lotion.
Yeah.
Monty Wong told me that.
Monty Wong told me that one.
Is that right?
Yeah. Shout out Monty.
Yeah,
then.
Monty's one of our athletic trainers here. I hurt my back last week at the Bears game. I could barely walk, and he's like, I walked in like I was a 100-year-old man. He goes, "Dave, just keep moving. Motion is lotion."
Motion is lotion.
How much did you weigh coming out of college? I know you've told this story 8 million times.
Around 210.
Out of Nebraska. What's it going? By the way, let's segue here. What is happening with Nebraska football?
We're having a tough year. That's for sure. We've had a couple injuries, but I think the team. I think they're trying hard. I think that we don't have the right pieces really for what our new coaches see their vision being. I still think we got some of the recruits from the old staff. Obviously, some young guys. A lot of young guys are playing. So, a lot of younger guys are trying to step up. Some of the older guys are on their way out. But, I think we just got some of the missing parts that don't fit the pieces that the coaches want right now.
Describe Lincoln, Nebraska.
It's a great city, man. When you think of Lincoln, you think of Nebraska football. On game day, it's like the third biggest city or something like that, or some statistic. I'm not fully sure.
In
but
what, the world?
No. It's like, I think it's like in the Midwest or something like that. And, but no, the people there are great. They're always welcoming. I think that's the worst part about coming to Nebraska. Our stadiums, everything is so nice, whatever, but our people are always so nice. And, when football games, sometimes you really don't want that, coming, sometimes you go into other people's stadiums and you get the middle finger and stuff like that. You come to Nebraska stadiums, they're open arms.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They'll welcome you back. They
even after losing, like they don't get all pissed off when you lose.
They're not going to be butthurt about it. No, they're not going to. But yeah, I think that's kind of the worst part about it, of being it so nice.
Okay, so Nebraska, you weighed what, 215? You said?
Yeah, like 210, 215.
So you're up to 230 plus?
230, yes.
How'd you do it?
Eating calories.
Like examples, like graphic examples of how much food you've eaten.
Okay, so in the mornings, usually about 5 to 6 eggs, and maybe like a piece of bread or two. Maybe throw some peanut butter on it, and then let's say like for example, like during season. So then we have meetings right after that. So then probably try to eat like a granola bar or something, some pretzels between in meetings, sitting there drinking Gatorade or water, and then lunchtime, another full meal. So now
which is like a burger, which is like
like a couple pieces of chicken breast and a full cup of rice. And I'll do that meal usually twice as kind of one lunch. I just kind of spread it out, before and after practice. And then dinner after meetings, or I'll probably eat like a PB&J during dinner meetings, and then after dinner, have dinner, which would be some sort of cup of rice. I'm a big rice guy. I don't know why, but it's easy for me to eat when I'm trying to
and digest it.
Yeah, I don't know why, but my body really likes it. And then I'll eat dinner. Usually same as lunch, and then I'll have probably another dinner before around 8:39.
Healthy eating though, even though you're eating a lot, it's really healthy. Have you always, because young guys don't what 24-year-olds don't eat this healthily? Was it a difficult move from not only a volume standpoint, but from going from eating junk to eating good stuff?
It's hard. It is hard, especially for me. I'm a single guy, so when I'm at home, I got to make my own food, and sometimes it's, it gets old. I don't want to eat the same stuff over and over, chicken, whatnot. So it does get hard. Sometimes I'll throw a couple cheat days in there, but
And cheat with what?
oh man, first of all, I'm a huge candy guy. So like when it comes to sweets, I'll sit there and eat a whole bag of sour, like a big bag. But I'm a huge Taco Bell guy. I've always been. I think in high school I probably went to Taco Bell for every open lunch. I'm one of those guys, so that's probably my cheat meal.
Can you? That's a kind of a good thing because to talk about your football's come such a long way, making the transition, safety to linebacker in the NFL. You're playing a lot. You're making plays for the Eagles defense. It's really been a wonderful first 9 games for Nate Gerry. But do you think you could have done it without being so dedicated to food and changing your diet and eating right? Because I don't think fans really think about what you guys eat and how important that is to be productive every day.
Oh yeah, nutrition is huge when it comes to your health, overall injuries, like injury risk. I know, especially with the linebacker position, you're butting heads every, you got to hold your weight in there sometimes with the big guys, but you also got to be able to open up and run. So your nutrition is huge, and I think a lot of it goes down to being able to be injury prone. So I can't get injured. I think that's probably the best part about nutrition.
Are you a great athlete?
I'm a good ping pong player. It depends on type of athlete. I'm an average
by
golfer.
NFL standards, are you a great athlete?
Overall in the linebacker position.
I mean, so Nate, you're a sprint champion from South Dakota. I mean, you obviously by normal people's standards, you're a great athlete. And the difference between being a great athlete in the normal world and in the football world. Are you in the football world? Do you think you get by? Do you think you play well and start and a great NFL player because you're a great athlete?
I wouldn't say that's all of it. No, I mean obviously the physicality of the game and the athleticism of the game. There's a portion of it, but I think a lot of there's a lot of mental in the game too as well, especially with age. Each year you get older and older, you learn more and more about the game, and the game just slows down where, sometimes your athletic ability, you really don't need it as much, I'd say, just because you put yourself in a better position from the start just by knowing the game better. But to answer your question, yeah, I'm a good athlete in the linebacker position. That's no doubt about it.
I think that an example of a guy who I think is a really great athlete and who I wonder when the mental part would catch up. No disrespect to him, but Michael Kendricks. I always thought great athlete, but was kind of wild on the football field. And I haven't watched him play in Seattle. Accurate statement? He's a kind of a guy who it was a great athlete, or when he was playing here. I'm just talking about when he was playing here.
Mike, in my opinion, I think Mike's probably one of the physically the best linebackers in the NFL. But I think to his point, he's also had a bunch of different defensive schemes that he's been in.
Good point.
And I wasn't here, but I think with Chip and them, I think they ran a 3-4.
Correct.
So he played outside, I believe, in the 3-4, which is a down DN type style. And then they switched to a 4-3. So then he's more of an outside linebacker. So I think he's played in a lot of schemes. He was a smart football player. He made a lot of plays that some people wouldn't make. But that's just the nature of the game. But I think, like you said, he's physically one of the best in the game.
Nate, you're a rookie and you win the Super Bowl on the way to now being a starter here 3 years in. Do you think about the Super Bowl at all? Do you guys think about it now we're 3 years later?
It's actually kind of funny you said that because now we're playing the Patriots this week.
Exactly.
And yesterday was kind of the first time I really watched the Super Bowl film as a group or more than, I think obviously we've seen bits and pieces on Instagram or whatnot, but we actually yesterday sat down and saw some of the runs and stuff that they're going to probably try to do against us. So it was actually our first time really seeing the Super Bowl. But besides that, I don't really think about it as much. People bring it up and then I do, but otherwise, we got a lot of tasks ahead of us now that it's hard to really think about.
Where's the ring?
It's at my house back home.
Do you ever wear it?
If there's some big occasion, I will, yeah, but.
I remember coming back one of the most wild experiences I ever had, actually. I don't know if you were on the after the Super Bowl party, which was awesome. We got on a bus, and it was the linebackers bus, and it was a crazy. Were you on that bus?
Which
It was Camus. It was.
I know which bus.
It
Or
was
I
a
mean,
bus
which
coming
part are
back
you
from
talking about?
Right after the game. Back
the
to the
one
hotel, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're
wild,
talking
dude.
about. Yeah,
Raymond was on that
Oh,
one.
yeah, I know
Kendricks,
exactly what you're
Najee
talking
good.
about.
It was a good time.
It was a great
All right,
time.
let's talk about Nate and playing with the Philadelphia Eagles. Why is it clicking for you this year? What is it all? And I'm not saying that it hadn't before, but it really seems that your level of comfort is so much greater. Your performance is so much more consistent. Your percentage of plays is way up there, 50+%. Tell me why.
I think what you kind of hit on the nose. I feel a lot more comfortable. I just feel a lot more confident in myself. Being able to, kind of fit the linebacker mold now. Being able to, set the front, call the defense, and help people get lined up. It just puts me at home where, it feels more natural for me. So I think I've understood the X's and O's a lot better. This being my third year, I've learned a lot under Nigel and, just a lot of the film that I've seen. Jenkins has helped me, especially with the back end stuff. And like I said, Nigel's helped me with the linebacker position since I've been here. He's been a huge big brother for me.
Is it harder to learn run fits or to learn kind of all the coverage responsibilities? Or is that
It's a good question.
Okay.
No, it is a good question. Especially, so I played both. The thing that was nice about safety is that like you're kind of always tied into the run fit, and then you're always tied into the pass. So I've always kind of had a grasp a little bit of both, and I think that was probably one of the main reasons why the transition for me was probably easier for the upstairs people to put me in. But I think that just the run fit's probably a little bit harder because route concepts are more defined, and run fits are kind of they can get mushed up, and people can get put out of gas and stuff like that. So I'd say that would probably be a little bit harder.
A season of first, interception return for a touchdown against the Jets. Tell me about the play, your remembrances of the play, what it's like when you make a big play as an NFL player. Does your phone blow up? Does everybody that you have ever met in your life call you and tell you that was awesome?
Yeah, your phone notifications go up a little bit. But to me, I'm one of those guys who hates like the social media stuff, so I don't like it. Kind of really only have it for just the connection to the fans and whatnot. But it was felt great to finally get in the end zone. It's been a while for me. I haven't scored since I think it was a sophomore in college. But being able to finally get an interception, return it for a touchdown, it was a good feeling for me.
And then you had a quarterback sack against the Bills, your first. So this is all good, right? That was your first quarterback sack.
Yeah, I believe so.
Tell me about that. Do you remember every play?
I do remember every play. It was actually one of those plays where I didn't know if I could hit him or not, just because there's all kinds of new rules and stuff going on. So, each week everything changes, but I think he was running around stumbling and just hit him.
Nate, what'd you do in the bye week?
Went back home to South Dakota.
And did what?
Hung out with some family, hung out with some friends, enjoyed the snow and the 19-degree weather.
Excellent. Do you work out every day?
Not in the bye week?
Yeah.
No. Maybe once.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Did you like stretch? Did you get into a sauna? Did you get?
I did sauna. I think that was probably my workout. When I tell you I worked out, I probably did some push-ups and body squats in the sauna. That's probably about it.
How much does your body feel different after a week off?
Oh, night and day. Yesterday we ran around. We all felt. I mean, for me individually, I felt great. But I mean, today I'm a little bit sore, but it's one of those good sorenesses that you kind of shaked everything out.
How was it coming back yesterday? Describe for the fans, how is the energy in this building? Super Bowl champions coming to town, 8-1 Patriots, Tom Brady again. The craziness that he brings to a defense. What is it like for the Philadelphia Eagles in that locker room?
The energy's high. We saw it yesterday. I think Coach Peterson, we had the energy coming in, and then Coach Peterson addressed us in his team meeting yesterday. We knew he was bringing the energy. So there's a lot of high energy and enthusiasm going around here. We're excited for the back end of this season, and couldn't be more excited for it.
Is the defense coming together here? You feeling good about it?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of pieces back. Just looking at everybody yesterday, like I said, we got a lot of new guys back. We get a couple more DBs. Saw Timmy. I feel like our front four is We got a lot of veteran guys up front.
Yeah, we do.
So I really saw it yesterday. So I'm really excited to see them play together.
Does it change down the stretch, football? Does the tempo change in November, December?
Yeah, you can tell it amps up a little bit, just because things start getting more solidified. You kind of see where you're at, and everybody else kind of knows where you're at. So it kind of amps up each game, each week.
So it's Tuesday and it's an off day. And what are you doing in the NovaCare complex?
I got some breakfast. Like I said, I'm a single man, so
You're coming in for the meals.
coming in for the meal, and also I'll probably get it. Like I said, I'm a sauna guy, so I'll probably sit in there and
You won't throw up weight.
I'll probably do a little bit of tossing, but not a lot.
Okay.
We did some yesterday.
All right, I got 5 questions for Nathan Gerry here that may or may not have anything to do with what we've talked about. What is the best part of being a professional athlete?
The people, meeting people. It's like teammates. I've met all kinds of guys from across the world. I tell my friends and family this all the time. Growing up, I never in my whole entire life thought I was going to live in Pennsylvania, let alone Philadelphia. And here I am. I couldn't be more happy, and just the people I've met throughout the process.
Do you get out into the city and check things out? Are you a nightclub guy? Or are you out and have a dinner
Sometimes, yeah. I'll go out every now and then. I'm pretty low key though too. I like to stay in every now and then, but when the guys like to go out, I like to go out and have fun.
Do you have a thing when people come up to you? Are you cool with that? Do people come up to you?
Yeah, some people. Yeah, I've always been cool. Like, I mean, the people. I was pretty used to in Nebraska. Like I said, the people there, like they're diehard fans. I've been pretty fortunate to be supported by a lot of good fan bases. So, yeah, people coming up to me, I never have a problem with that. I'm always here for the people.
What is the toughest part of being a professional athlete?
The stress. Just people harping on you. Just the stress and anxiety that goes into the game of football. All of us want to be so perfect in what we do, but it's so hard to be so perfect in football because things happen every play, and it's just so hard. So I think a lot of the stress that goes with it's probably
when people harp on you. You're talking about coaches who harp on you.
I'm talking about coaches, fans. You drop a pass. People are, you suck, you can't do this, and a lot of people don't understand like that. Some of that stuff hit home for a lot of people.
Is that why you stay off social media, or do you stay off it, or just dislike it? Well, you said you're on it actually.
Yeah, I mean I'm on it, but like I wish I wasn't. But here I am.
Yeah. Well, I mean they just do it because they care.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 2: Who is your best friend on this 2019 Eagles team?
Best friend?
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. I'm gonna go with my big brother Nigel, just because he's been with me throughout.
Okay. Nigel scares me sometimes, but I mean,
why is Nigel scary?
I think he's one of those guys when you look at him, you go, he could just kick your ass and roll you up and just throw you in the corner.
I don't scare you?
Yeah, but I know you, so you look like my son. You're like Nigel, scares me. No, but Nigel, like deep down, he's like a sweetheart.
Dude, see, that's the
guy.
thing. Like when I first got here, me and Nigel, my rookie year actually, because me and Nigel, we do this defensive dinner every Thursday night. So me and him always rode together, and like that was one of the. I remember we talked about it when we were younger. Is like, he's like, man, all these people think I'm like some bad person, like scary person. Like deep down, man, I'm just a nice guy and stuff. And I was like, yeah, man. But that's people just not knowing him, stereotyping everybody.
Keeps people away from him, I guess. I don't know. He's just a big like looming guy.
Right. But if you say something to him,
he's awesome.
Big old smile at you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he'll do a big smile at you.
Nate Gerry, when you're not playing football, what are you doing?
Wake surfing. It's my new thing.
What's that?
So it's behind a boat. You need an inboard boat, and so you get a surfboard. So you get it's like a wakeboard rope, or it's probably half the length of it. You get pulled up on it. Your feet are just on the board, so your ankles aren't tied in or nothing, and you get caught up in this wave. And there's this thing called the pocket behind the boat, which is like 6 to 8 feet or whatnot, and you can sit in the pocket actually without the rope and just surf in this little wave.
In a lake.
Yeah, in a lake. Yeah.
Okay.
So I do that back home. South
That sounds
Dakota.
cool. All right, cool. What is the last book you've read that isn't a football book? Isn't a playbook?
Wow. You Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins.
What's that?
It's just about this guy. So he had a really, really rough childhood. He grew up. He's like one of the only people to ever. He made it through like Army Ranger School, Navy SEAL, like Hell Week twice, Armed Forces. He went through all just kinds of just nutty stuff, and he just had a really messed up life. And he's a motivational guy, and he kind of just talked about his life and how he made it out and how you can do it if you just put your mind to it, stuff like that.
Cool. Okay. Last one. Looking ahead, way ahead, what will you be doing when your NFL career is over? Do you have any idea? Have you even thought about it at age 24?
Yeah, I thought about it in college, and you think about something, especially when you're or a little bit younger than me too. You think about something, and then friggin' next year, completely 180. But I've had the same idea kind of pop up to me a couple times. I'm not 100% sure if it's something I would do. I still got to finish my degree. I got about 9-10 credits left. But I think a high school athletic director would be kind of.
I think that's a great job.
Yeah, I think that's I really like being around sports. Like I love coaching, but like I couldn't be a college coach because there's no freaking way I could recruit.
Why?
The stuff you have to do for recruiting now is just absurd. You see,
like going and begging an 18-year-old kid to come play?
Like hands on your knee, you got to break dance or something with their parents. Help me out on that, man. But yeah, I think a high school AD could be some of my own.
Are you a hero in Sioux Falls?
A hero?
I mean, how many NFL players have come from Sioux Falls, South Dakota?
Sioux Falls?
Yeah, that's what says where your home.
Yeah, Sioux Falls. I think I am the only one from Sioux Falls.
So I would imagine, I'm just thinking, like, you can go back there and be the man. There's got to be a Nate Gerry day coming up at some point.
No, I don't think there's gonna be a day for it. That'd be pretty cool. But
that would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I mean, maybe I could. I mean, I'm friends with the mayor now, so maybe I could, throw a word in, get a Nate Gerry White Snake Day or something. That'd be sweet.
Tell me about the White Snake.
That's my football nickname, and it's
clearly because of the music.
Definitely 100% not because of the music.
Okay, what is it?
I got the nickname in college, and really it just kind of stuck.
Because you're like
well, because I was at first, so I was a safety, obviously, and I was a white guy playing safety, so obviously that's partially the white name part of it. But snakes are deadly. They were silent. I really wasn't much of a talker. I wasn't. People really didn't notice me a lot, and the next thing you know, it'd be like an interception or some big play would happen, and people just started calling me White Snake, and then the whole fan base started calling me, and now all my friends call me Snake, and now it's just that's my name.
I love that.
I do love it, actually.
That's a very cool. You can call a lot worse things than White
100%.
Snake.
You ain't lying.
Nate Gerry, if you maybe pick off Tom Brady, get a sack this week, maybe go call that mayor of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, because certainly the mayor of Philadelphia will be thrilled as well.
If I get a pick first time, I'll probably set my own Nate Gerry Day in Sioux Falls.
I love that. Nate Gerry, thanks so much for joining us here on the Eagles Insider Podcast, brought to you by Lincoln Financial Group. Have a great game on Sunday.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.